let's move on to the US. Now, Donald Trump is always up to something, and this time he has announced the concepts for his revolutionary air defense system. This is called the Golden Missile Defense Program, and it is pretty incredible. What it is a multi-layered system. It's going to cost at least $200 billion, and it will have the ability to intercept missiles at every stage of their journey. So it'll be able to detect them before they're even launched. It can shoot them down mid-air, and as they're descending onto their targets, they can also shoot them down. Now, the Americans helped the Israelis develop their Iron Dome system, which has completely transformed the country. And this is really critical now because we know North Korea now has ballistic missiles. They have successfully tested them, and they are able to reach any part of the United States. Iran is about 10 years away from achieving space-launched intercontinental ballistic missiles. And those missiles can then be converted into nuclear weapons as well. So this is really the new avenue of warfare. It'll be the first time the US has put weapons into space, but they have to because as well, China and Russia have said they are now building a nuclear power plant in space. I mean, we can't even build one on land in Australia, but Russia and China are building it in space. It's pretty incredible. So Trump is very excited about this, and apparently Canada is also keen to get involved in the action. This is what he had to say about them.
It's a pretty evil world out there, so this is something that goes a long way toward the survival of this great country. And as I said, we'll be discussing Canada. They want to hook in and they want to see if they can be a part of it. That sort of makes sense. I guess that's what I was talking about from day one. You know, it just automatically makes sense, and it won't be very difficult to do, but they'll pay their fair share.
If there are intercontinental ballistic missiles coming from space, I think we will all want to be part of the air defense system that stops that. Please let us get in on the action.
Well, Trump went on to explain how his plan for the Golden Dome was inspired by Israel's Iron Dome.
Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space. And we will have the best system ever built. As you know, we helped Israel with theirs, and it was very successful. And now we have technology that's even far advanced from that.
So it's not going to be the Iron Dome, it's going to be the Golden Dome. I think this is where Trump got the idea from. Golden Dome.
Golden Dome. Golden Dome.
Trump is saying that this space system, which really was an idea of Ronald Reagan 40 years ago, wasn't it? He called it Star Wars. Everybody said it was impossible. And I suppose 40 years ago, it was impossible. But the idea was a good one. Israel have proved it, though, in a very small area of land with missiles being launched from short range. So the task that Trump is setting is that much greater. It's a huge area he's trying to defend. He's trying to defend against missiles being launched from the other side of the world and from outer space. It's going to cost them, there's been all sorts of reports today from $100 billion up to, I saw, $800 billion. But the point is, this is the sort of visionary leadership that is an investment in the safety of Americans. Everyone calls Trump a warmonger. This is not overseas adventurism. This is doing something to keep Americans safe.
Absolutely. Well, again, this is what Donald Trump was elected on, his mandate to make America greater again and to keep Americans safe. And I think good on him because he's getting on with the job. And, you know, look, it'll be interesting if he can pull it off in that time frame as well. But Donald Trump is really thinking visionary about the future of warfare. And, of course, he has to do that. I mean, the Pentagon has been warning for years that the newest missiles that are being developed by both China and Russia are so advanced that updated countermeasures are needed quickly and urgently. It was also interesting, I was reading that the Defence Intelligence Agency says that China could amass dozens of orbiting missiles with nuclear warheads in about 10 years' time, and that these missiles would be able to get to the United States in significantly less time than conventional intercontinental ballistic missiles. So No wonder Donald Trump is out there trying to move quickly in the event that China or Russia does attack. Now, look, the US does have a number of missile defence capabilities. And, of course, this Golden Dome, as you mentioned, is akin to Israel's defence system, which has worked really well. There's an interesting statistic that during the 2021 Gaza conflict, Hamas fired about 4,000 rockets at Israel and the Iron Dome intercepted 90% of them. So you can see how successful it is. But this Golden Dome that Donald Trump wants is actually larger. It can cover a larger area and it is far more sophisticated. So you've got Donald Trump forging ahead. Here in Australia, we've got a situation where our ADF is struggling with recruitments. They're dealing with people wearing gender-neutral uniforms. China's laughing at us while they're developing all their ballistic missiles. The US is getting on with it. And what are we doing? Exposed and they're laughing at us.
That old adage, if Trump cured cancer, he'd be criticised for putting oncologists out of work. Trump comes up with this idea and immediately all the critics come out saying, oh, this is just a way to get money to Elon Musk because, of course, he'll get the contract and it's impossible to actually do technologically and it's going to cost too much. And all the critics come out instead of saying, here's someone who's trying to do something to defend future generations of his countrymen. Will it work? I don't know. But when you're facing China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and the world, as Trump says, is getting more and more dangerous, why would you immediately react with criticism rather than saying, good, maybe it's a crazy idea, I don't know, but gee, I hope that it works.
Absolutely.
At least start with that.
Absolutely. Be proud of what your country is doing to try and protect you.